Fentanyl is 100 times stronger than morphine. And morphine is pretty strong. We give that to patients who are actively dying. If you've ever known anybody in hospice or has cancer, they're getting fentanyl. So, what is the root cause of this? Has been the greatest question. Opioid addiction has been around since the 90s. And when I say 90s, I'm talking about the start of the decade, 1990s. And if you notice, a lot of physicians' offices do not prescribe narcotics now. And what they did was, there is a thing in several states that they monitor the type of prescriptions that a doctor is giving. That is a direct result of the opioid crisis. So, contributing factors: rise in opioid prescriptions, changes in illegal opioid markets. Do you guys remember American Gangster, the story of Frank Lucas, when he came out with Blue Magic? And the fact of where he was getting it from, it was direct from a source, and it was stronger than what Nicky Barnes was selling. This is what we're dealing with: an illegal market who is telling drug dealers, well, you heard of this, but this over here got them falling dead in the street. Well, at this point in 2023, it's literal. It's literally happening. And then also, there's a worsening economic and social condition as well amongst Black and brown people. Certain populations are more key contributors of the crisis. Black and brown people, hands down. So, I was asked the other day if the opioid crisis could be fixed. And someone said to me that it was improving the quality of life. Well, guess what? There are poor people dying from this. There are middle class people dying from this. And we have celebrities dying for this. So it's across the board. This is not a quality of life issue at all. It's an issue with the accessibility of it. There are people right now who are in prison more times for selling weed than an actual drug trafficker based on a deal that they made to tell on other people. We talk about Rockefeller drug law. What about this? So, my ultimate goal is to inform people of what happens, and to encounter a young man who was younger than both my sons, 20 and 18, survive what he was taking Percocet. He thought he was taking Percocet. It wasn't. These pills look like Percocet. They look like Ultram. They look like a Vicodin. They look like a Dilaudid. But in actuality, it's laced with fentanyl. And it probably has more fentanyl in it than anything. So we have to look at those factors. So the ultimate goal is who, what, where, when, why, and what needs to be done to prevent deaths. They're getting younger and younger. So that is my goal. And anything on the medical side, state accessibility, I'm here for that.
Thank you for that too. Thank you. I mean, because you gave us the context that where I want to go a little deeper at is the access and the myth behind our young people and just our people doing drugs, right? Like all of us have heard different at this point, we have to acknowledge there's different generational anecdotes about what an addict is, what makes a person an addict, and the idea of something being casual, meaning you're not addicted if you're doing casual, and if you think you can stop and start it. We are seeing with this crisis, there is no stop and start. You gave the example of the young man that just came through your care. I think also, Dr. Alison, I think you had some examples of like some of our students on our campuses, and Jen just alluded to it, you think that you're getting something to help you study. You think that you're getting something that's going to help you lose weight. And you're getting something that there's an article, and I put it on Montega from the Block Instagram. The DEA is alleging that the cartels are pre-cutting everything with fentanyl. So the
And
days,
they put it out there.
right, the days of casually thinking, I'm just getting a Percocet, oh, I'm just getting this. It's only going to do that. It's the Frank Lucas example. That idea of something could almost kill me, that allure is ratcheting up what's happening. But do one of y'all want to expand a little bit more on that whole, like, how is it getting into the hands of our young people?
So I can jump in here. So one of the things, Rich Lucy and Sean Ferns, they do a really great work with the DEA. They work with the higher education population. And so one of the things they talk about, they have a campaign called One Pill Can Kill. And so when some of the like people in the higher education community or the community coalitions heard about the campaign, they were like, somebody responded, in one of the comments from a session I had to do, they were like, this seems to be the scare tactic thing, but that we know doesn't work. But everybody else like, no, that is literally where we're at. This isn't to scare you. This is what it is at this point. One pill can literally kill you. In October 2021, we had a student at a university in Louisiana that took what she thought was a Xanax. It was not a Xanax. She passed away a couple of days later, and her family did a viral, the TikTok went viral. It was like 22 million views. Oh, because she wanted to be a social media star. In school, she thought she was just having a night out for a party. I believe there was a young man at UT Austin, I believe, a football player. His brother plays for the Colts. He took what he thought was a Xanax. It was not a Xanax. He died. Then we had last year in spring 2022, we had 3 young ladies at the Ohio State University took what they thought was Adderall to help them study. It was not Adderall. All 3 of those young ladies died.
Oh.
And so it's not a scare tactic. One pill can literally kill you. And so like to bring it back to the Frank Lucas thing is that, yeah, it's the drug dealers are always on the cutting edge of how do they take customer share from somebody else. That is just the reality of what it is. How do they make more money with spending less money? And so one of the things is, one of the questions I know I've spoken with the DA about is